In the heart of Europe, where the cobblestone streets of Antwerp wound through a maze of historic buildings and the scent of the North Sea mingled with the hum of commerce, there sat an institution as old as the city itself, the Antwerp Diamond Center. A sprawling fortress of stone and glass, it was not just a hub of trade, but the custodian of the world's most prized gems. But in 2003, this hallowed ground became the site of an unprecedented act of audacious larceny. It was a heist that would make legends of thieves and propel Antwerp into the annals of criminal history for eternity. The Antwerp Diamond Center was a labyrinthine stronghold, an intricate network of rooms and halls. At the heart of it all was the legendary vault, a masterpiece of engineering that was said to be impenetrable, boasting a wall of reinforced concrete and steel, biometric security systems, fingerprint scanners, and a lock so complex it was believed to be uncrackable. It was rumored that only 3 people in the world knew the vault's combination: the head of the Antwerp Diamond Exchange, the lead security officer, and the architect of the vault himself, Bernard Tillemann. But Bernard had never met Leo Amato, a shadowy figure whose reputation preceded him. Amato was said to be a modern-day Robin Hood, albeit one with no moral compass. He was a master of illusion, a thief whose elegance was matched only by his cunning. He had never failed in a job, and when he set his eyes on the Antwerp Diamond Center, it was not merely for the wealth, but for the sheer challenge. Leo Amato was not alone in his endeavor. His team was as eclectic as it was deadly. There was Elena Vasquez, a world-class hacker with the ability to breach any system, no matter how sophisticated. Then there was Viktor Petrova, a Russian operative with a background in counterintelligence and a penchant for explosives. And last but not least, there was Sammy Morales, the getaway driver. Amato chose Antwerp for a reason. He knew that the vault had never been tested, not by burglars, not even by time itself. He also knew that the center was a fortress, but even fortresses have cracks. Leo planned meticulously, for he believed in the art of patience. His team spent months studying the center, watching the routines of guards, mapping out the security system, and listening for any trace of information. The most significant breakthrough came when Elena discovered a vulnerability in the biometric security system. The sensors were cutting edge, but they were not infallible. A subroutine allowed someone to bypass the sensor by using a decoy. The evening was cold, with the gray clouds heavy in the sky, promising a downpour. The team assembled in an abandoned warehouse not far from the Diamond Center, where they suited up in black tactical gear. The plan was as follows. Elena would disable the surveillance system, Victor would handle the physical entry, and Leo would crack the lock. Sammy would be waiting in the car, engine revving. As the clock struck midnight, the team moved like shadows. The streets of Antwerp, always buzzing with activity during the day, were now silent, their echoes swallowed by the soft glow of streetlights. They approached the center through the main entrance, where an unsuspecting security guard was taking a smoke break. Victor swiftly incapacitated him with a non-lethal nerve agent and secured his badge and keys. They slipped through the entrance and navigated a maze of corridors until they reached the perimeter of the vault. It was there that they found the first true obstacle, the biometric lock. Elena, with her eyes darting between her handheld computer and the thin wires she'd snaked into the wall panel, muttered, "We're in. Give me 5 minutes." Leo glanced at Victor, who had already started setting up his explosives. He nodded and turned back to the lock. It was a masterpiece of ingenuity, with a combination that shifted every hour, adjusted according to an algorithm that no human mind could predict. But Leo wasn't human. He was something more. His eyes, sharp and focused, traced the patterns of the lock's movements, memorizing each rotation. A minute passed, then 2. The screen on the keypad began to flash. With a final tap, Leo entered the code. The vault groaned, its massive steel door inching open to reveal an inner sanctum of gleaming light, filled with diamonds in all colors, shapes, and sizes. Leo stood there for a heartbeat, breathing in the air, laced with success and exhilaration. But there was no time to savor the moment. Elena and Victor quickly set to work, filling duffel bags with as much of the bounty as they could carry. Suddenly, the soft hum of an alert echoed through the center. Someone had triggered an alarm, a secondary system that detected when the vault was tampered with. "Leo, move!" Elena shouted. Victor grabbed a diamond-encrusted scepter, tossing it to Leo as they ran. The team made their way back to the entrance as an unearthly cacophony rose behind them, the sound of reinforcements storming the halls. But Leo's team had a head start. Sammy was already in the car, waiting with the engine at full throttle. As they tore down the streets of Antwerp, sirens blared behind them, the red lights painting the night with urgency. The getaway was almost flawless until Victor, glancing in the rearview mirror, saw the flash of headlights closing in on them. An unmarked police van was pursuing them. Sammy's hands gripped the wheel tighter, eyes narrowing with a gambler's determination. The car veered into a narrow alley, a shortcut only someone with his skill could navigate. The van crashed into a pile of crates, slowing it down just enough for the team to disappear into the night. In the days that followed, the Antwerp Diamond Center was in chaos. News of the theft made headlines around the world and rumors spread like wildfire. The vault had been breached and the diamonds stolen. It was the kind of heist that stories were made of. The world was baffled and envious of the precision and audacity of the thieves. But Leo Amato and his crew had already left Antwerp, heading to the safety of their hideout in the Swiss Alps. In the years that followed, the Antwerp diamond heist became the stuff of legend, spoken about in hushed tones in criminal circles, and studied by security experts as a cautionary tale. Leo Amato's name became synonymous with the perfect crime, a man who managed to steal from the world's most secure vault and vanish without a trace. And though the diamonds were never recovered, the true story was never fully told, until now. If you like it, subscribe to the channel for more videos.